Hey guys, Dave Pizzaro here with mensfamilylaw.com. Today I want to talk to you about something that is near and dear to many a divorce lawyer's heart who are out to just rape, plunder, and pillage, and that is Family Code Section 7640 in California. This is the attorney's fees provision. And the reason why I'm talking about this today is yesterday I got a call from a guy who says, dude, you would not believe what the judge just did to me. I'm like, oh boy, this isn't going to be good. What happened? Judge is making me pay $70,000 to her lawyer and $35,000 to her freaking idiot accountant who's doing the forensic accounting to figure out that because I've got $5 million in assets and she's got, in theory, nothing, I have to pay her legal fees. What's up with that? Well, here's what's up with that, guys. In California, Family Code Section 7640 provides that the court has the power to order the payment of attorney's fees. The court may order reasonable fees of counsel, experts, that's like accountants and therapists, the children's guardian ad litem, and other costs of the action and pretrial proceedings, including blood tests, to be paid by the parties, excluding any governmental entity, in proportions and at times determined by the court. What that pretty much says is the court has a blank check to spend your money in whatever reasonable way that they come up with to figure out what the appropriate thing is supposed to be happening with your kids. It's a lot of fun. This is where lawyers who are unscrupulous really get a great deal of power, because from this they can just run up outrageous bills. They know that you're the one that's going to be paying for it, and because they know mom's not going to have any money, and even if she does have money, she's probably not going to pay the bill because she feels entitled, because that's what the system does. And so you're on the hook for it, and that's why. So in this case, where my guy's got $5 million sitting in his stock account, and he owns a property, and he owns another property, and they own together a property that she's living in, the court looks at it and says, well, he's got so many more assets than she does. He can afford to pay for her legal defense of the child custody case. Now, the reality is that it's not really a defense of a child custody case because she's doing everything she can to keep the kids from him. So she's playing all kinds of games and saying how horrible and abusive and what a terrible father he is, and he was never around, and blah, 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 blah. And then she turns right around and says, but I want all the money because I'm entitled because they're my kids. And it's just this game that is played. And the way in which lawyers look at these cases when you're dealing with the client is, if you're looking at representing the woman, generally what that means is you're going to run your bill up as high as possible because you know you're only going to get a percentage of it from the other side. Because remember, in 7640, what that says is in proportion to the parties. So she may get a huge chunk of money out of dad and know that she's only going to get 50% of whatever the fees are, or he may only get 50% or 60% of whatever he's billed on behalf of his female client to the dad. And that's why what ends up happening is lawyers who represent women tend to have bills that are 2 and 3 and 5 and 10 times higher than those that are men, than those who are representing men, because they know they're only going to get a certain percentage of it. And that's why you guys end up with these outrageous bills, because all of a sudden what ends up happening is mom's on the phone every other minute with their lawyer saying, what about this? What about that? What about, and what about? And before you know it, it's a 6-figure bill that dad's on the hook for at least a good chunk of, if he's making more money than mom. So the problem we have is, how do you now limit the litigation? How do you try and bring these cases to a close as quickly as possible? And that's where we come in and we try and say, like, okay, so here's the reality of what your life is like, and here's the reality of what the kid's life is like, and here's what's realistically probably going to happen when the judge finally gets this case in front of him. Let's see if we can put together a settlement offer that gets us closer to that final result. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, because frankly, sometimes emotions are so high and people are so angry that we're not going to get anywhere with settlement offers until we're way down the road and probably in the middle of trial, which is unfortunate because it means that a great deal of money and time is going to be spent arguing over what is going to become an eventual result that most experienced lawyers can tell you on the outset, this is where we're going to end up because this is your lifestyle. This is the hours you work. This is where you live. This is where the kids go to school. This is the age of the kids. This is where she works. This is where she's going to school. And at the end of the day, we know that a judge is going to look at it and say, well, this is what I'm going to order. Unfortunately, what that means, though, is that when emotions are involved, we're looking at depositions. We're looking at hours and hours and hours of discovery and pages and pages and pages of document production and a lot of wasted time and effort. But at the end of the day, what we end up with is a lot of money spent, not a lot of results. That's good. And you're going to end up pretty much where I'm going to tell you end up in the beginning. So that's the reason why you're going to end up having to pay part of her lawyer bills under California Family Code 7640. Sorry to give you the bad news. But maybe that also makes you aware, like, just get to a result. Just get to a settlement as quickly as possible. So hope that helps, guys. Remember, cheeseburgers and chocolate shakes will get you through just about anything. If you've got questions, you want to talk to me about more stuff, feel free to give me a call, 310-664-9969. And there's a lot of great information on the website, mensfamilylaw.com. And take care.